Hello and welcome back to my channel. This video is part of a series here at International Yankee English, where we will talk about how to write well, Writing Wednesday. You will learn everything from what academic English is, to how to write a thesis statement, to how to edit and proofread. So be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And let's get into today's video. In today's video, you will learn how to integrate sources. We will cover the different kinds of in-text citations, placement of citations, how to use signal phrases, and how to use variety. The three different kinds, as you learned in the academic sources video, are direct quoting, summarizing, and paraphrasing. Let's take a look at direct quotes. For the purpose of this video, we will use the APA style. Quote, Milgram, 2011, notes, "The absence of women from STEM education and careers affects more than the woman. It is a missed opportunity for those fields. Women bring a different perspective that shapes and influences STEM disciplines." Page 5. These words were taken exactly as they were written by the original author and given credit as such. Direct quotes should be used sparingly in your paper. Next, let's take a look at summaries. Milgram acknowledges the effect women have on STEM fields as well as the loss experienced when they are not included due to their unique perspectives that shape the disciplines within STEM. 2011. Here we see a summary of the things that Milgram has said in the source that the writer is citing. Now let's take a look at paraphrasing. The lack of women in STEM fields has a negative impact that is felt in multiple ways. Milgram, 2011. Here you see the writer has taken the information from the original source but written it in their own words. This is the most common use of citations in academic writing, but it is important that you also, when needed, use direct quotes or summaries. Now that you know how to use the three different ways of in-text citations, you can talk about where to put your in-text citations. The first thing to remember is Texas. If you haven't already watched my video on how to write paragraphs, then pause this and go and check it out. You want to remember that the E, the X, and the A, elaboration, examples and evidence, and analysis, are in the middle, after the topic sentence and before the summary sentence. You will use in-text citations throughout those parts of your body paragraph. The next little icon here, take the time to properly introduce the topic first. So do not start a paragraph with an in-text citation. That doesn't make any sense for the reader. The third icon, use citations to support your own ideas throughout the essay and make sure they come in every paragraph. Icon 4, always include data in your in-text citations if possible. And the last icon, make sure to analyze, comment on, or summarize your sources before you move on. Don't simply plop an in-text citation in your paper and say nothing about it. Now let's have a look at signal phrases. The first one is the most common, the phrase "according to," followed up by the author's name. However, you can't simply use this over and over, so it's important to learn more than one way. The second option here is to use the author's name plus a verb. For example, Milgram notes. There's a list of other verbs there, and there are many more that you could use as well. It is important to use strong and various different kinds of verbs throughout your paper. The third option here is to talk about the author's work in the greater context. For example, list the author's name and then use a phrase such as "is credited with," and then give an example of the thing that the author is credited with. If you're using secondary literature, that means you're reading an article or a piece of work by an author that talks about another author. Make sure to give proper credit to the author that wrote the actual material you read. Another way to do this is to say a study by and then the author's name, and then go on to elaborate on what that study has done to contribute to the field. The last option here is a bit more analytical. Here you can agree or disagree with your source. For example, author plus verb. You can use some examples such as a thorough proposal of, offers a thorough proposal of, for example, or provides ample evidence of, or fails to consider, avoids counter-arguments, etc. The last option here is an author plus a noun. So you use the author's name, and then a noun such as a conclusion incorrectly states, and then you say what that author's conclusion incorrectly stated. You can also say author's analysis overlooks, and then the thing that their analysis overlooks. Now, since you can't always use direct quotes or according to, let's look at variety. Make sure that you use all 3 different ways of in-text citations. Use direct quotes sparingly, though. Mix up the signal phrases. Go back to the last slide to get some ideas, or enroll yourself in one of my academic writing courses, or contact me for one-on-one coaching for more information on this. And last but not least, change up the order. Don't always use the same order or formula to introduce your in-text citations in your paper. They can be in the elaboration, example, or analysis part of your body paragraphs. Be sure to come back next week for our final Writing Wednesday video here at International Yankee English. We will talk about editing and proofreading. Thank you for watching today's video as part of our Writing Wednesday series here at International Yankee English. I also post weekly videos every Saturday called Study Saturday. I have a Facebook support group. I run free conversation classes every month on Zoom, and I also am launching my official website as well as Patreon account where you can get different levels of English support. So be sure to check that all out. If you haven't, I will have links below in the description box. And I hope to see you next time at either Study Saturday or Writing Wednesday. Bye!